Presently on the Samsung, the lock screen customization is really magnificent, and on the iPhone it's really wonderful too. Yet on the iPhone there's an additional one thing that I'm looking here. You can have different lock screens, save and get to or initiate any of them as need might arise, and it would add more as required. So everybody, in today's video what we should do is we will look at the customization between iOS 16 and Samsung One UI 5.0. We will do a profound plunge on the lock screen, on the always-on display for both of the smartphones, and afterward we will choose. You will conclude in the remarks underneath which one you believe is better. So how about we make a plunge and begin the correlation. Here we have a S22 Ultra running One UI 5.0 data, so this isn't the last software, however it does have most of the features of the final version. Here we have iPhone 14 Pro Max with iOS 16. So we should begin. How about we rapidly start with the lock screen customization capacity. Presently 2 or 3 methods for getting to the customization for the lock screen. Allow me to show you the 2 different ways. The first way on the iPhone, you go to the settings, you can look down, and afterward what you can do is, you can tap on the wallpaper and you can tap on customize, that is the lock screen, that is the home screen. So if I tap on this one I am able to customize the lock screen. On the Samsung we can pinch the screen, we can go to wallpaper, and style, and you can see we have the lock screen here, that is the home screen. We can click here and we can get to the lock screen customization right from here. So here's the things we can do with Samsung. In the event that I tap on this guy, I gain access to various clock styles and various fonts as may be obvious, and I can change the size of the actual clock as may be obvious. So how about we simply take this one, we should go with this one here. With the iPhone I can tap on this 2N. I get a similar layout. We can change the colors for the clock as may be obvious. I can do the same thing here by the way. I can change the color for the clock from here. We have these options as well over here. We also have all these options, and both of the phones have a color wheel that permits you to go in and pick any color that you need. We have spectrum and spectrum on this one. We additionally have the sliders by and by. I simply go with the extraordinary for the patterns, as you can see, to pick the particular color that I need. Yet I truly do like that we have this on the Samsung where we have these 2-tone colors, that kind of match up with the background image. So let's keep it right here. So far we have some great customization on both of the smartphones. Now the next thing you can do with the iPhone is you can tap on this right here and you can include a widget on the top over the clock. We don't have that here, so for instance to have the weather conditions, I tap on this one we have right now, we get date and weather. I can likewise scroll down and choose different accessible widgets. We have different weather options here, so I can have like that. Let me see what that does. Alright, so that's a little bit different. We've got that. We have got that. So we have a bunch of options here, not too many, yet there's a lot of choices. So we should go and simply have a clock up there as of now, and afterward what I will do is I will show you folks. You can likewise tap these folks and add widgets from the accessible areas here. So assuming that I tap on battery I can have this person here. First remove this, then add this. Okay? You can either have a 2x1 or an individually view at that, okay? So that's the extent of customization as far as the clock and the widgets are concerned. Yet we truly do have a few additional choices with this one. We can swipe over depending on which section you are. You can pick these different variants of colors. And you can add the depth effect? Okay, so I can disable this or enable this, if it's available. It's not available here it seems. And with this one, if I were to go back here, we can also change the 2 shortcuts at the bottom of the screen, so I have a calculator shortcut. So in the event that I tap on this one will get taken out. I tap on in addition to, and afterward I can pick any of these apps that I need to install at any point. Okay, let's keep it a calculator, and I can change this one as well, so I can pick something like the camera or whatever. It's everything dependent upon you, and I can add a little signature at the bottom here, osa-mall channel for instance. Now when I click on done, it says that at the bottom you can have a quote, your name, your contact information, whatever that you need. Once you're done you can tap on set, okay? So if you wish to change the lock screen, and there's a couple more things on the show you guys, so let's go out so I can show to. Let's go to the actual lock screen. I'm gonna double tap to wait. We have the always on display. That kind of deems away as you can see in a couple of seconds. Assuming that you tap it awakens, in the event that you press and hang on the screen. And log in with your Face ID, you get this screen right here. So from here you can access all your lock screens for the iPhone. You can have several lock screens for the iPhone, and with each lock screen you have a button at the bottom that you can click to customize that particular locked screen that you generated. And if you have any desire to add a brand new, you tap on add new, and what is going to happen is you're gonna get the feature options. As you can see, we have things like this, for example, astrological wallpapers. You have 5 of the sea. The moon, you've got the moon detail, and you've got the solar system, so all this cool stuff is available. Suggestive photos from your photos album, photo shuffle if you want to use that, and then oops. And if I go down over here you have again, weather in astronomy on the top, we had him all feature. These are feature at the bottom. We have collections, and the older at the bottom, we have the color. Okay? Just so you know. So if I were to click this guy again, basically it is just a color-based wallpaper giving you various shades of a given color, and afterward, when you're prepared, you can click add, and this will add this into your wallpaper. Okay? So take a look at this now. I have this large number of wallpaper. Now on the Samsung, assuming I go to the lock screen on the off chance that I press and hold and log in, it likewise activates the customization of the lock screen. And we don't have this however here. You have different lock screens that you can make and save and access anytime here. We don't know when you're at this screen. What you can do is you can likewise get to the wallpaper. Now in light of the fact that as a beta this could crash when I click it 2 or 3 seconds. Yet you have these graphical wallpaper and the colors, so assuming I tap on this guy, as you can see, it recently crashed. We should do that once again. So these are my graphical wallpapers, and afterward this one here. Again, that is all ordinary, it's a beta. Press and hold. Go inside, tap on wallpaper. Let's try to do this one real quickly. Oops, it crashed. No biggie, except for that is what you can do from the lock screen in there. Now you notice that on the iPhone we have the gadgets and stuff. Okay, so we have exactly the same thing on Samsung. So look, if I somehow happen to go to the lock screen, which you can do to get to your widgets, is simply tap on the clock icon. That's going to expand and give you your widgets. Of course we don't have that on the iPhone. The iPhone we have various lock screens. You can tell me which one you would like to have down underneath, so click on this one. We have the music player, we have the calendar, we have the alarm, we have the screen time, we have the weather, and assuming that I tap on settings and log in, it brings me into the widget area where I can add a couple, all the more. So we have the modes option, yet that is all there is to it. I can reorder them, so I can have the weather on the top. So presently when I go to the screen and click on it, the weather will be on the top. Access all those guys, you can go back as well, so that's a lock screen. The one thing I need to rapidly make reference to on a side note is the point at which you truly do pick the screen and go to wallpapers. A style has this choice here that you get on, you don't get on the iPhone. It's the colorful, that option, you tap on it, and based on your current wallpaper or basic colors that you can pick yourself, you can pick accent colors for the entire phone. So you have the wallpaper color, so that is my wallpaper. It removes the color from that wallpaper, give me a few mixes as may be obvious, and I can pick a few unique blends, and that will change the accent color as you can see, which is additionally going to apply to the notification panel, my apps and stuff like that. So assuming that I apply this. Okay. And assuming I pull this down, you can see the buttons are blue, this is brown colored, all as a result of the variety palettes. On the off chance that I go here, we should utilize this one here. You can see things have changed a little bit now. When I pull it down, this one is blue, things look a little changed here. Everything is changed in a subtle manner. Now let's quickly talk about the always on display. So with the iPhone is very simple. Whatever wallpaper that you have set actually just dims away, the clock remains a bright, and you can see the always on display very simple to the point. And just to show you an example, so if I were to go to this guy right here, always on display is gonna appear. The screen is just going to dim away. Let me just go back to there we go. So it just dims away, and that's what you get. Alright, very nice and simple, and the point like we said. With this phone is somewhat unique, so you have a couple additional settings. You go into the lock screen, then you will always on display. You can turn it on and off here. You have the choice to switch it off here too. Allowed me to show how to use settings or display or always on display, turn on or off, depending on the situation. So that is that. Yet here when I go inside, I have a couple things I can do. Tap to show always, show a schedule, show only for new notifications. So that's how I can choose to activate my always on displays. Let me show example. Let's just do tap to show. So now I'm gonna lock the screen. Tap and it's going to show it. Double tap, it's going to go to the lock screen with the animation. Now, let's go back here. The other thing you can do, so let's go show always. So always appears. So let's change the clock styles. You can change the always on display clock style independently. As you can see, you can even add GIFs, images in the back of that always on display. You can pick images from the gallery. So assuming I tap this guy, I can go into the cars for instance and pick one of my own photos and simply have it in the middle. As you can see, that can be my always on display. So when I click on done and switch off, the screen is about to pop up. It will be extremely faint, yet you can see I will shoot you from a different angle so you can see exactly what it's gonna look like. Now if you have the image background is to be very dim, but if you have the clock background is going to be similar to the iPhone. As you can see them both under this a regular light, and when I tap it awakens this way. Alright. If the icons match with what we have on the lock screen, then you get a better effects. If I have this clock right here, tap on done. Check this out. So that is in special animation. Okay, so we in every case really here simple can be turned off. Here it isn't all the more complicated and can be customized even more. However, this comes down to preference. You want something that's nice and simple to the point, or something that's a little bit more customizable and maybe not as refined as one on the iPhone. And lock screen customizations appear to be comparable with the exception of we can tap here and gain access to these widget. Alrighty, and we can change the icons at the bottom now with this guy. Like we said, you can go in there and you can access multiple lock screen right from here, which is perfect. You can have up to 5 widgets on the screen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and simply recollect, just we are free as of now. We truly do have more, which is here. Then we have here, as you might we at any point just have a limit of 6 here. Okay, offer your contribution to the remark area beneath. Do buy in, as in hit the warning button to get each most recent update.